So they actually did it. Yooka-Laylee, the game that wanted to bring back Banjo-Kazooie magic, but kinda ending up summoning Banjo-Kazooie's beta build, has been remade. And get this, it's actually good. Yeah, I didn't see that coming either. Welcome to Yooka Replaylee, the full-blown remake of Playtonic's 2017 3D platformer that's hitting the Switch 2, Xbox Series, PlayStation 5 and PC. Looking like it just graduated from the Maybe Good Someday Academy with honours. This isn't just a remaster or a spitshine, this is a total overhaul. Visuals, gameplay, camera, story, everything. And somehow it feels like the game we should have gotten 8 years ago. First things first, this game looks incredible. Like, they didn't just touch it up, they took the original art, deleted it from existence, and replaced it with something that could sit comfortably next to Mario Odyssey or Ratchet & Clank Rift Apart. Every texture's been redone, every environment has new props, lighting, and effects. There's reactive snow that crunches under Yooka's feet, grass that sways when you roll through it, and lighting that makes each world feel more alive than ever. Even simple stuff like the reflections in Glitter Glaze Glacier, or the way that Capital Casino's neon signs pulse in rhythm with the music. It's all been modernised. Menus have been redesigned too, finally, because the old one looked like it came straight out of a Unity tutorial. Now it's all clean, notebook themed, matching the new storytelling device. More on that later. Honestly, Yooka Replaylee is the best kind of remake. It keeps the personality but strips away the rough edges. Like giving a chameleon a glow up and realising, oh, you were cute this whole time. So here's the biggest win right off the bat. The gameplay has been completely overhauled. Remember how in the original you had to buy your moves from that snake, Trouser? It was kind of charming in theory, but in practice it was like paying a toll every time you wanted to have fun. Now, Yooka and Laylee start the game with their entire moveset unlocked. Yes, you can roll, glide, twirl, slam, sonar, and tongue grapple right from the start. No more oops you can't climb this ledge because you haven't learned to breathe yet. The controls have been tightened up too, movement feels responsive, animations are sharper, and it all just clicks. There's even a few brand new moves to spice things up. And that roll? It's still physics defying, still ridiculous, but now it's actually fun to use. The devs have also simplified the control scheme overall, fewer awkward button combos, more flow. It's the first time I've played Yooka-Laylee where I didn't have to stop and remember which trigger made me spin or shoot or eat butterflies. Okay, let's talk about the biggest improvement, the camera. The original Yooka-Laylee's camera felt like it was being piloted by a drunk bee. Half the time it worked, the other half it tried to show you the inside of a wall you couldn't care less about. But here, it's totally revamped. It's fluid, modern, responsive, exactly what a 3D platformer camera should be. It feels like they studied what makes Odyssey or even Donkey Kong Bonanza's camera systems work, and built something that respects the player's control. Playtonic, thank you for finally teaching the camera how to function like a normal member of society. And speaking of navigation, this game finally introduces a proper map and collectible tracker. You can now see warp points, NPCs, pagey locations, and even your collectible progress for each world. That's all tied into this new character, Mark the Bookmark, who's both adorable and terrifying, but also genuinely useful. He acts as your fast travel hub both within the worlds and within the hub world, saving hours of backtracking. No exaggeration, this one addition alone makes the game infinitely more playable. The original Yooka-Laylee's story was basically corporate bad guy steals books, go stop him. And that's fine, it's a platformer, not Shakespeare. But Replaylee adds an unexpected twist. Now, the entire story is told as Yooka and Laylee reminiscing about their past adventure, but with cheeky embellishments. So, when Laylee cracks a joke, like I totally nailed that jump the first time, the game flashes back to her missing it spectacularly. This retelling structure gives the devs a canonical excuse for all the changes, the new art, rearranged collectibles, altered challenges. It's all because they're remembering it differently, and it's genuinely quite clever. There's also new plot points and sequences sprinkled throughout, and even a brand new ending that gives way more closure. It's still goofy and self-aware, but it now feels like a complete story instead of a setup for a sequel that never came. The notebook-themed UI ties it all together beautifully. Each world feels like a chapter, each collectible a doodle in the margins. It's adorable, it's cohesive, and it finally makes Yooka-Laylee feel like it has a proper identity. Oh, and Rextro's back. Everyone's favourite polygonal dinosaur, who in the original game hosted a bunch of minigames that were, let's say, ambitious. They were clunky, awkward, and made me question if Rextro secretly hated me. Now, Rextro's completely redone arcade is a highlight of the remake. Instead of separate minigames, it's now a series of isometric platforming challenges where you play as Rextro himself. They're short, snappy, and surprisingly fun, like old school arcade mixed with Captain Toad. And because Rextro's movement is intentionally stiff, it becomes a skill challenge instead of a chore. Finally, Rextro is redeemed. So each level from the original returns, but every single one has been reimagined. It's the same themes, the casino, the snow world, the jungle, but everything's been expanded, rearranged, and packed with new content. Every corner has something new to do or see. There are brand new challenges, new enemy types, new secrets, and even completely redone collectible placements. And because levels now start fully expanded by default, there's no more backtracking to unlock bigger versions later. They've been designed from the ground up to flow much better. It's like seeing your childhood hometown rebuilt with better roads and no potholes. What's wild is that even if you remember the old level layouts, this remake constantly surprises you. You'll turn a corner expecting a familiar puzzle, only to find something completely new waiting there. They didn't just fix it, they expanded the game's content, and that's dedication. The Yooka-Laylee soundtrack was already a highlight of the original. That Grant Kirkhope charm never misses, but here, it's been reorchestrated by the Prague Philharmonic Orchestra, and it's downright magical. Every theme sounds grander, warmer, and more alive. Tribal Stack's tune now swells like an adventure movie opener, and Glitter Glaze Glacier's track feels straight out of a Disney snow scene. And when the brass section hits during Capital Casino, you feel like you're inside a Muppet show directed by Vegas. This orchestrated approach doesn't just sound better, it makes the whole game feel premium, like a true Nintendo tier production instead of a Kickstarter dream. Okay, so let's talk tonics. These were one of the coolest features in the original, but definitely underused. Yooka Replaylee turns them into a core pillar of the experience. There are now 35 tonics, from gameplay modifiers to visual filters, and 104 different cosmetics. You can adjust everything. Want a superhero landing? Done. Want a CRT filter? Go ahead. You want Yooka and Laylee to look like Shovel Knight? Fashion icons. Tonics now encourage experimentation instead of punishing it. Combine them for weird effects, tweak difficulty, and replay old worlds with new spins. It's like adding a cheat menu that's also kind of stylish. It makes replaying levels genuinely rewarding, hence the name Replaylee. Now, just for reference, the version you are seeing on screen right now is the Switch 2 port, and I apologise if it doesn't look perfect because my capture card is quite old. However, I can confirm that the remake runs buttery smooth on Switch 2. There's no frame drops, no pop-in, no load screens long enough to check your phone. Now, Playtonic did confirm that they didn't receive the development kits until quite late on into this remake's development, so the game is sadly locked at 30 FPS at the moment, but this hopefully will change in future. The general polish across the board is unreal. Hit detection, platforming precision, NPC behaviour, everything just feels refined. They even added subtle environmental effects, dust trails, lens flares, reflections, particle pops, all that good next-gen seasoning. Basically, Yooka Replaylee feels like a platformer that finally caught up to its own ambition. When Yooka-Laylee launched back in 2017, it was full of heart but rough around the edges, like a love letter written in crayon. Yooka Replaylee is that same letter, but rewritten with confidence, coherence, and a really expensive pen. The art is stunning, the gameplay's fluid, and the camera finally respects me as a human being. The overall vibe is just joyful. It's not just nostalgia anymore, it's proof that this genre still works when done right. If you loved Banjo-Kazooie, or just missed the golden age of collectathons, this is a must play. And if you played the original and thought, this has potential, guess what? That potential's finally been realised. It only took 8 years, but hey, good art takes time. So yeah, Yooka Replaylee isn't just a remake, it's a redemption arc. Playtonic went from spiritual successor to spiritual successor that actually nailed it. Now, if you'll excuse me, I've got the rest of the pages to find and a Rextro challenge to rage at. And so that takes us to the end of our look at Yooka Replaylee. So let me know in the comments down below. Are you going to pick this game up? Did you like the original? Share your feelings on Yooka-Laylee below. If you enjoyed this video, please leave a like, and if you haven't done so already, subscribe and tap the bell for notifications to stay up to date with my future uploads. A massive thank you to my Patreon subscribers for the continued support, and all I have left to say is thanks, and bye bye.